Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we're taking a cheeky look at Elrond and specifically how to become a millionaire with the EGLD token. So Chris, this is one of those kind of videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto, and that's where we look at projects and we say how many of a specific token would we need to become a millionaire with a somewhat realistic price target, right? And that's what we're going to do here for the Elrond project today. So if you find this video useful, informative, hit that like button, and we really appreciate it here at Cheeky Crypto. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, treat yourselves, become a subscriber, it's free, and you'll be kept up to date with all of the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. So yeah, why not? Right, with that said, Chris, let's jump on over to the desktop, talk a little bit about what Elrond is and what it's trying to do, talk about the EGLD token, talk about the valuation of the EGLD token, how many you might need, and how to become a millionaire with the EGLD token.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Absolutely. It sounds lovely, doesn't it, Chris? It sounds brilliant.
It
right, so
just a mere million.
Just yeah, pocket change. Anyway, let's talk about what the Elrond project is all about. So Elrond is a project that has been getting a lot of attention lately, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, me and Chris got in early, not as early as we potentially could have done, but early enough that we are seeing significant profits in our portfolios. But nonetheless, it has so much potential. So like many other projects before them, Chris, they are hugely focused on the scalability. And they have had some significant value increased over a short period of time. And I think it was in September of 2020, Chris, they actually changed the ERD token into the new version, which is the EGLD, or EGLD as we like to refer to it. And ultimately, in addition to becoming the native cryptocurrency of the Elrond blockchain, all ERC20 and BEP2 tokens were swapped. It also saw a redemption of 1,000 ERD to 1 EGLD, and this was basically in line with the changed economic model that saw the total supply of the cryptocurrency drop from 20 billion ERD to 20 million EGLD. So a significant change in economics. But beyond all of that, Chris, there's some fantastic things that's going on here. So the Elrond network is a public blockchain created to provide that high scalability, interoperability, and high throughput. The goal is to create a decentralized network that can, basically provide the same or better performance when compared to centralized networks, while also providing users with greater privacy. So there's some true fantastic things going on there. And the Elrond project, Chris, plans to achieve these goals through its unique technology of adapted state sharding and by using the secure proof of stake, the SPOS consensus mechanism. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on what Elrond is. We actually did a whole video dedicated to this, so do check that one out. But it is a fantastic blockchain. It's doing some fantastic things, and the economic model makes it incredibly attractive for investors, which is why you've seen it do so well in the previous weeks. So let's talk a little bit, Chris, about what's going on. Because ultimately there's some fantastic things, right? So if we have a look at the EGLD token on CoinMarketCap, for example, it's currently trading at $136, which is a phenomenal amount of progress from when we purchased it. Do you want to talk a little bit, Chris, about the price that we purchased it at and what kind of gains we've seen since we got into this project?
Yeah, so we purchased, it was a while back now. I think it was back in December. It might have been earlier. And we got in at around, it must have been about $22, $23. It was, it was a steal. And this one was brought to us by one of the viewers and was like, you've got to look at this project. And as soon as we did, before we started talking about it on the channel, we just had to buy some, right? It just, we've never had a project where we've gone, right, I need to buy this right now before we go live, like before we start talking about it, because like this is like a really decent project. So yeah, we got in, we talked literally about 2 minutes after we bought it. to everybody, saying how wonderful this project is. And we've what, I don't know, 5x our money roughly.
It's about that. It's
great.
actually, it's about 5, maybe approaching 6. So we've seen significant gains on on this particular project alone, and it's been phenomenal. But obviously it has also scared people. It's scared people quite a bit with some of the retracements. Obviously there was euphoria as the price was increasing. What I can show you guys is this particular chart here. As we kind of got in when it was pumping but not overly high, we must have been at around here $18 to $16 to $18 or so, in that kind of zone. And when people were basically talking about it, it was going to some ridiculously high numbers. And ultimately everyone thought it could not stop. We, on the other hand, were looking at the charts and were saying, this cannot continue forever. It's overbought. It's basically approaching the 100 level on the RSI indicator, and at some point this thing's going to come down and correct, which fortunately we finally found that top. It came a little bit later than we were expecting, but nonetheless we found that top, and that scared a lot of people, Chris, when it started to get corrected. But that's a very healthy thing to happen, and now we're starting to see the correction come to an end. So we can start to see things potentially moving further forward. But nonetheless, these corrections are incredibly healthy, and they're an important part of the cryptocurrency space, and you kind of have to get a little bit more comfortable with it and not get so scared when you start seeing it. Nonetheless, some profits were taken by some traders at the top here, and rightfully so, because when you're 100 on the RSI, that is just not sustainable. It has to come and get reined in a little bit. So everything is okay on the charts now, Chris. Everything's been corrected quite nicely, and we're starting to see some price appreciation. It won't be long before we start going ahead and hitting some of those other price targets that we talk about in our eGold videos. So if you want more in-depth chart analysis on the various different things that we've been doing for the eGold, do check out our channel and check out the eGold playlist specifically. There you're going to find a lot of the charts and things that we do for the Elrond project. So do check that out if you're interested. But this video, Chris, is all about how to become a millionaire with the eGold token. So let's talk a little bit about what price prediction might be actually feasible for the Elrond project. And in order to do this, Chris, we kind of have to compare Elrond to Bitcoin, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, and I've said this on live streams, maybe a bit bullish. It's Bitcoin on steroids, and not condoning steroids, but for me, it's a project that not only has like the ability to be a store of value because of the number of tokens that are out there, and the amount total there will ever be, but it's actually got the tech to back it up. And for me, there's only, if there was one thing that I could say, is they haven't really got that front man that I see anyway, like all over YouTube doing interviews. I think that's the only piece of the jigsaw that's missing for me. That doesn't mean that they're not out there leading the way. I know that they are on Twitter and in their own, I guess, socials, but they haven't got that person coming out of their own platform, if that makes sense, and coming on to perhaps others. Like I've reached out and asked, would you be interested in an interview? And I think that's the sort of thing that we're looking for from leaders in projects. But overall, yeah, you can only really say that Bitcoin is the closest one to this project, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a couple of misconceptions with Elrond and the eGold token as well. They talk about maybe a 21 million being a total supply, and that is true. There's also this number of 31 million, and the 31 million actually represents a 10 million token, I guess, prize pool or reward pool that's designed to reward validators for their participation. So the true maximum number is actually 31 million and not 21 million, but obviously 21 million is the supply that you're going to see more readily available, whereas the other 10 million is there specifically to support the validators of the network. So we always like to use the 31 million because eventually that is what will be out in the ecosystem. So 31 is the true maximum number. But let's talk a little bit about the price prediction side of things. I think, the fact that this thing has such huge potential and high throughput, 18 decimal places, I think, Chris, I could be wrong on that, but I think it's 18 decimal places for the eGold token. So it gets, you can be divisible quite significantly. And ultimately, these things make quite a significant difference. There's an intention here to make it being used for a lot of transactions. So let's talk a little bit about the current price that we see today, and a little bit about what we think the price might be in the future. So at the point of recording this video, Chris, the eGold token is trading at $136.45. Okay, so that's okay, but it's got a long way to go. These prices that it's currently trading at are insignificant, really, in comparison to where it has to be going. And the charts are indicating we're going to see some significant prices going further forward. But in this particular video, we're going to talk a little bit more long term. We think that the eGold project and the Elrond project and the eGold token are going to be around for quite some time and will appreciate much better over a longer period. So for us, we're going to hodl this particular project. We've got it staked and delegated, and ultimately we're earning quite a nice passive income on that. And then we're going to let that just keep going, right? We're not going to touch that. We're just going to let it keep appreciating in value. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say that we're going to have an eGold token that's going to eventually be worth around $10,000. Now, a $10,000 eGold at this point might feel a bit far-fetched, in the same way that a $10,000 Bitcoin was a bit far-fetched when it was also $100. But nonetheless, here we are today with Bitcoin reaching well over $50,000. So, things can happen. And ultimately, this particular project has a lot more use case than just a store of value. A store of value is a given with this project because of the cap and the hard cap of 31 million. But also it has a lot of, upside with the fact that it has a proof of stake consensus mechanism. So a fantastic and novel approach that's also better than that of the proof of work protocol. So I think this thing can really take storm. So let's assume it gets to 10,000, Chris. Then ultimately we're going to be looking at 100 tokens, right?
Yeah, I think it can probably go further, but if we're realistic, let's say 10,000, and probably going to get a lot of heat for saying that, because it's not even half of what Bitcoin's achieved, right? But we want to kind of keep this, really realistic, don't we?
Absolutely. So if you were not already in this project and you're looking to potentially get involved, then I think ultimately you'll be looking at, I think, like $13,630 approximately, something like that, to get involved with this project and have enough tokens to potentially become a millionaire in the future. Now, obviously, with that being said, this is not financial advice. This is just how we've kind of approached it. We said this project has a lot of potential. It has a hard cap that's really low, and you earn a nice passive income on it. So therefore, actually doing this investment actually makes a lot of sense. That's our approach to it. Now, we recommend that you do your own research, dig nice and deep. We got a few starting positions on our channel, so do check out our eGold videos, but do go and do more research than even us. And we do recommend digging deep. But ultimately, you may even need a smaller investment, Chris, because depending on what length of time you're wanting your investment to actually mature, you can get a nice passive income just by delegating it. So you'll earn more eGold by holding eGold. So you could, you might actually need less than you might think as well. So I do recommend checking out the Elrond website and doing some research there, checking out how to delegate, how to stake, and the kind of rewards that you can get from staking. And obviously, do some more research into how this protocol works, what technology is there, and what we've kind of alluded to a little bit in this video. But we do think that you have a very true and real possibility of becoming a millionaire with the Elrond and eGold token. Chris, anything else you want to leave the guys with?
Just that this is basically a Bitcoin style opportunity, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, but that's the way I see it. I see this as Bitcoin years ago, but better. That's my view.
Absolutely. So guys, if you have found this video useful and informative, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, do consider subscribing. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all this said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.